What is up, my dudes, and that one girl likes all the fancy things in life? This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I just live in front of a camera. It's like the MTV Real World. I don't know. Anyway, let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on a Cardo communicator? Check my referral link down below. Want to support me in all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! You should check my coffee page down below. Become part of the Brew Crew. You also want to support me? There's like a whole shopping list of like Amazon links down below. It is all stuff that I personally use and I personally feel is good stuff to have. Buy something off of that. I get a little bit of a kickback. That also goes to a good cause. What's that good cause? Well, there's also a link for that down below. Check it out. So today, we're going to get into the question of, is Harley still a premium brand? And when I ask the question of, is it still a premium brand, it's because Harley has always been labeled as a premium brand. It's supposed to be like the creme de la creme, the top of the mountain, the thing that everyone else is chasing. Now, I've mentioned it before, but I fully believe that when you are supposed to be a premium brand, it's when you buy something and there's no changes needed. You're good to go. On a vehicle standpoint, that would be like buying the brand new Corvette and, you know, not ripping out the seats, not rebuilding the engine, not replacing all the suspension on it and stuff like that. All the things that you basically do when you buy a Harley. You know, nobody's doing this to a Corvette unless, you know, they're taking it to the track or they just want to say they have the biggest, baddest Corvette on the planet, which, whatever. But this begs the question of, is Harley still a premium brand? And to help illustrate my point, I'm going to use the Road Glide ST to kind of show why I don't feel like Harley is really a premium brand anymore. So first and foremost, the Road Glide ST comes in at $30,000 MSRP. So before all the taxes, the titles, the dealer fees, the setup fees, the who knows what else fees, any color besides black, it is $30,000. And then you've got all that other stuff tacked on. If you've got a loan, there's interest, but you know, let's say you buy it cash outright, you're still looking at somewhere between $35,000 and $40,000 out the door. Now, we're going to stick with MSRP because later on in the video we're going to do some comparisons, so we'll get back to that. But yes, $30,000 MSRP. Now, my issue with this is, if you go back and you watch the original videos for the Road Glide ST, for the ST line in general, when it was announced by Harley, you could still find these on YouTube. Harley literally 100%, almost verbatim said, this is a platform to build on. So they literally told you that this is an incomplete bike and you need to buy more stuff to really bring it to its fullest potential. That is not premium. When you're selling me half a bike at a premium price, you are not selling me a premium bike. That is just absolutely insane. Like what? Like Harley, come on. And I do want to say this right up front because it seems to get lost in the conversation later on. I do not want Harley to go out of business. I don't want them to suffer. I don't want any of that. I want Harley to do better. I want them to do better by their customers. I want to have them do better by their product that they're releasing. I just want Harley to do better. And I feel like you can criticize something while still caring about it. So here we are. Now, I went to Revzilla and I started pricing out some stuff, and I tried to keep this as cheap as humanly possible, but I looked at ways to upgrade the Road Glide ST just to kind of see what I would be into it for if I was to do what Harley wants me to do, which is build upon this platform. So I looked at the cheapest slip-ons I could find on Revzilla. It came in around $400. Now, I didn't look at a 2-in-1 system. I didn't look at like a full exhaust system because I'm trying to go as cheap as possible. Quite honestly, if you're doing this bike the right way, you're going to be into it way more than the price I'm about to quote you. So yes, $400 for a pair of the cheaper slip-ons. Then I looked at a Fuel Pack 4 because, you know, if you're a garage mechanic and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to go with the Fuel Pack 4. It's probably the simplest one to understand. It's the one that you have to have the least amount of knowledge to like really tune and get your bike sounding good. I also looked at the Fuel Pack 3 thinking I could save a little bit of money by going 1 generation older, but it was also the same price as the Fuel Pack 4. Didn't quite make sense, but whatever, here we are, par for the course. So the Fuel Pack 4 or 3 comes in around $460. Then I looked at an S&S cam. Now, there were other cams on the site, and some of them came up a little bit cheaper than what I'm about to give you, but this S&S cam also came with the new gasket, some new bearings, and all that stuff, so it was more of a complete kit. And the caveat here is all this stuff that we're doing to this bike, you're doing in your garage. You're not paying a mechanic to do this or anything, because then your cost goes up even more. That came in at $400. So right now, I'm into this bike at like almost $1,300, and I'm maybe gonna get like an extra 10 horsepower because of the way I'm doing this. I haven't added a new air cleaner. I'm gonna rely on Harley's Big Sucker. I haven't changed out the head pipe to something without a catalytic converter. I haven't gone 2-in-1. None of that stuff. I have been like trying to put a big bore kit on. This is probably like the barest minimum you could do outside of just an air cleaner, pipes, and a tuner. So that's pretty, I don't know, lackluster at best. But let's go into some of the other stuff that I feel like really prevents Harley from being a premium brand. And we're still going to use this motorcycle to discuss this. First and foremost, I've harped on this a million times. I know other people have, but the directionals, still incandescent bulbs. Harley, what are you doing? Just put the LEDs in there. Now, if you want to upgrade to LEDs, if you're going the cheap route, you're grabbing some Amazon ones, you're probably looking at anywhere between like 50 to 60 bucks per set, front and back. So you're into this about $100 to replace front and back directionals. And that's just with like drop-in LED plates. If you want to go to something nicer, you're looking at closer to like $300 or more for like custom dynamic stuff or like Zero 3D. That's pretty depressing. And once again, this is sloppy on like Harley's part. Putting like old school light bulbs in there is not a premium approach, guys, especially on a $30,000 bike. Like, what the hell are you thinking? So then there's other stuff that just absolutely annoys me. First and foremost, Harley seats suck. Nobody on earth is like, man, I love this stock Harley seat. I'm so glad I have it. And if you do, you're a garage queen that isn't riding anyway, so you haven't noticed how shitty your seat is. So I looked at like a Saddleman step-up seat because Saddleman tends to be a popular line and the step-up tends to be a popular seat to get. Yes, there are cheaper ones. I went with like what you generally see showing up on road glides, street glides, and every other Harley out there. You're looking at, for a straight bare bones basic black step-up seat, $485. So now you're well over $2,000 into this premium bike to get it to a position where it should have been when it rolled off the floor. But now let's talk about the stereo. It comes with the Boom GTS audio stereo. It is not good, guys. Like, off of the floor, we're looking at 25 watts per channel. It comes with two 6.5-inch speakers, so you're getting 50 watts total. And if you've ever seen a Harley speaker removed from its fairing, the magnet on the back is the size of a dime. I am not exaggerating this. It is the size of a dime. That is absolutely horrible. And at any speed over 2, you're going to get just horrible sound if you can hear it at all. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a game of name that tune while you're going down the highway because you're only going to hear bare basic notes here and there. It's not good, guys. It's not. And that's pretty depressing. And this stereo itself is also pretty heavily locked down. You can't do a lot with it. And Harley has the expectation of, if you're to add an amp, change speakers, add speakers to the bag, anything like that, they expect you to bring your bike back to them to flash the radio. And if the radio is not flashed, and I understand that if you're a little tech savvy at home, you can find ways to flash it at home. But if you're not tech savvy, and you don't bring it back to them, the settings that are originally on that Boom GTS box can actually blow your speakers, blow your amps, ruin everything that's in there. So yeah, you're paying to go get your stereo serviced by Harley because they have locked it down to such a point that's absolutely ridiculous. Now, the big problem with this is the Boom GTS audio. If you were to buy that off of Harley's website, and I did go and I priced it, you're looking at about $2,000. So this radio is $2,000. And also with that $2,000, you don't get Android Auto, you don't get Apple CarPlay. You actually have to buy an adapter and put it on the bike to have some jumpers and stuff to actually make those things work. It does not work off the floor. That is insane. Both operating systems have been around for decades now. Like Harley, come on, catch up, do better. This is absolutely just lazy on your part. And most people fix this with like a $10 adapter, which means Harley could bulk buy these and probably fix it for like $1, and they just refuse to. So that is just absolutely horrible on Harley's part. Now, at the end of the day, this Harley comes in at 106 horsepower and 127 foot-pound of torque. I'm not gonna harp too much on that because, you know, different bikes, different horsepower, whatever. I'm more interested in the fit and finish and the quality. And the thing is, this is not an isolated sort of incident. Even if you look at the 120th anniversary release video, they straight out say, I can't wait to see how people upgrade these bikes. Now, this statement in itself just absolutely drives me insane to the point where I just want to reach through the screen and punch anyone in the face that says this. Because Harley straight out, like I said, with the ST line, they said this is a platform for you to build on. 120th, they say, we can't wait to see how you upgrade this. And other releases, they say, we can't wait to see how people customize and upgrade these bikes. They use the word upgrade. Upgrade means that you are improving upon, you are making it better, so on and so forth. But then you bring your bike to a Harley dealership to trade it in, and they say, oh, you did upgrades. None of those are worth anything. If anything, they're more detrimental to the resale value than anything else. You should have left it stock. Harley, pick a goddamn lane. Do you want me to upgrade the bike and make it better? Or do you want me to leave it stock and basically make it shit? Because like you're sending a very mixed signal there. You want me to pay thousands to finish off a bike that you didn't finish from the factory, that you nailed me with a premium price on, but then when I go to trade it in, you're telling me that everything that I just spent money on, even if I bought straight Harley parts and I had a Harley mechanic install them at a Harley facility, they're still gonna tell me that they are not of value, plain and simple. If anything, they are detrimental to the bike. Then surprisingly, they put it on the floor with all those aftermarket parts and sit there and go, look at all the aftermarket stuff done to this bike. It's incredible. Hurry up and come down before somebody else buys it. Harley, you guys are dicks, dude. Like, seriously, stop screwing us over on this. I've given you reasons why I don't feel like this is a premium bike, and I do want to compare this to another bike, and I'm sure you guys saw this coming. I'm going to present the Indian Challenger Dark Horse, and I actually chose the Dark Horse because the ST line is all blacked out. The Dark Horse line is all blacked out as well. MSRP on the Dark Horse is $29,000, so it's already $1,000 cheaper than the ST line. If you want this bike in chrome, you can get it for $27,000. It's $1,000 cheaper if you don't black it out. So that gives you a little bit more option, because I know some of you you don't like the blacked out engine look, you want a chrome one. So whatever, there you go. Now, again, I'm going to leave out all the other stuff like, you know, dealership fees, setups, delivery, whatever, all the other stuff, loans, interest. We're just going with the MSRP, but this bike comes in cheaper. And it comes with 122 horsepower and 128 foot-pounds of torque. Again, I'm not going to harp on this because one's an air-cooled engine, one's a liquid-cooled engine, and we could go on for days and days on what type of engine is better, which is preferred. Honestly, I prefer an air-cooled engine. I realize I'm not getting the same horsepower and torque as a liquid-cooled engine, and my maintenance is far greater than like a liquid-cooled engine would have, but I like it and it sounds cool, so that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to harp on that too, like past that right there. But here's the thing. The Indian Challenger comes with all LEDs right out of the gate. So right away, Harley, come on, just put LEDs in your bike. Another thing that the Indian Challenger has, like the Dark Horse and, you know, bikes around that level, basically any of them besides the base model Challenger, anything above the base model, comes with remote lock bags, which you can only get on a CVO when it comes to a Harley, and you can't even get them aftermarket and have them put in. Like, well, you can't buy them from Harley aftermarket and have them put in. So, you know, those are only available on a CVO. With the Indians, like, you just get them, they just throw them in. So you've got the keyless bags, you've got ride modes, you've got rain, regular, and sport. You don't have that on the ST. It's liquid cooled. It's gonna be cheaper maintenance wise. I mean, that's just a fact. It has an adjustable windshield and it's powered and stuff like, even the Harley Pan America does not have a power windshield. It has a little handle that you move up and down. Quite honestly, I prefer the one on the Pan America because it's one less thing that can really break on you, whereas like the motors inside like a powered windshield, I don't trust it. But nonetheless, powered windshield. It has, on its stereo, it has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto right off the floor. You don't have to put in any adapters, you don't have to add any jumpers, you don't have to do anything like that. And it comes 50 watts per channel off of the floor. So 2 speakers gives you 100 watts. It is already double off the floor what Harley is offering you. And I've used Harley like stereos and speakers. I have a Road Glide Special. I've had to deal with those speakers and the GTS boom audio, and I have ridden the Indian Challenger with the 100 watt speakers and stuff, and it is night and day. Like, the Challenger sounds amazing when it comes to like its speakers, its stereo, and all that stuff. And quite honestly, its GPS was way easier to use than the boom audio GPS. That thing is just garbage. Now here's the thing, I'm not going to argue which bike looks better, runs better, all that stuff, because a lot of that is matter of opinion. I mean, again, if we compare horsepower and all that stuff, you really can't. It's apples to oranges because one's air cooled, one's liquid cooled. So, you know, you're coming down to appearance, fit and finish, all that stuff. Harley is not making a premium bike anymore because they are getting left behind by competitors like Indian, who are offering way more for less or the same money. And that's kind of embarrassing, and it's a black eye on Harley. And I really wish that they would just start pulling their shit together when it comes to stuff like this. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't wish Harley to go out of business or like have some damaging sort of thing. I want them to do better. I want them to have better products. I want them to be more competitive, and I want them to do better with their customer base and stop treating us like we're idiots. Like, oh, hey, we painted this bike. Now you have to do the rest. And after you do it, we're going to tell you that it was all for naught, because if you try and trade this bike in, we're not giving you any money for anything that we have deemed upgrades originally when we charged the shit out of you for them when you put them on. So that's what I got. What do you guys think? Throw it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dork you know who does have a stock Harley seat and puts miles on it, because that dude is weird. And I'll see you all on the flip side.